Hello everyone, welcome back to King's Quest II. I'm still very pleased and very happy with what just what a happy, cheerful, vibrant setting this town is. The music is wonderful and the artwork is wonderful and the setting is nice and I like it very much. I like all of it. So I guess I should probably go into the library first. That seems like a logical place for someone like me to go first. That woman's walking pretty fast. Let's see, did I already look at all these buildings?
The stylized windows in this town are lovely.
I agree. Somebody commented in the previous video that this doesn't seem to be English architecture so much as either medieval French or German. But that makes sense actually, because I guess maybe the idea here is that Colima is kind of like, since it's a far-off land, which Graham probably, Graham did have to cross the sea to get to it. I guess Daventry is kind of based on medieval England, and then Colima is sort of drawing influence now, or inspiration from, the continent, the European continent. So obviously France would be the logical choice since it's the geographically closest country to England. So anyway, can I open the windows?
This window doesn't open.
Oh, this window doesn't open. Do the others? No. That one doesn't. No. I'm getting the impression that none of them open. Okay. All right. What's this A?
The sign atop the store simply says A.
That is true, and it looks kind of like a shark fin.
You already have 2 A's in your name, Graham. Let's not get greedy.
Okay. I'm curious what that is, but... Oh, and what's this door over here?
There appears to be a sign on the door, but you need to get closer to read it.
All right, let's take a look. What do we have over here?
A small residential building.
No, not that.
The door is plain and has a mail slot. It also has a sign posted on it. You read it.
The family of the deceased wishes to thank all who have expressed their condolences over the passing of their loved one. Frederick enjoyed life and literature and had an ever-present, if sometimes wicked, sense of humor. May his soul be at peace in the realm of the dead, and may its Lord judge him worthy of eternal happiness.
You also notice something sticking out from under the door.
Oh, something sticking out from under the door.
The town continues to the east away, but you are not interested in what lies in that direction.
Really? So if I try to walk that way, does it prevent me? Oh, it actually does. I can't go east from here. How do I look under the door?
The town continues.
No, that's not what I want.
The town.
No.
There appears to be a sign.
It's not what I want.
You are unable to retrieve anything from there.
Wait, is it in the mail slot here?
There appears to be.
I'm not trying to read the sign.
You need to get.
I'm trying to look under the door. Oh.
You can't quite get your fingers on whatever is visible under the door.
Okay. You need to grow out your fingernails, Graham. So you can... Yeah. Alright, let's go into the library. Is there one of these slotted windows in the door here that people can look through to see who's outside?
The door to the library is closed, but not locked.
Alright.
The sign reads, Colima Library.
Yeah, I could see that.
In the spirit of a hyperactive child, you jump up and touch the sign.
Wow. Wow, I was not expecting that. Okay.
You do not know sign language.
Yeah, that joke was already made by Sierra Adventures like 20 years ago. Alright, let's go inside. Oh, it's kind of dark here. It's a little darker and a little moodier than I expected for a library. But let's see.
Piles upon piles of unstacked books lay scattered around the library.
Also, doesn't seem very organized. Well, back here it seems pretty organized, but then up here, why did they just dump a bunch of books around here? Why is it messy up here? And, well, okay, there are a few books sitting around here, but back here it looks all right.
Presumably, these pull-out drawers contain an index card system for locating books.
Can I pull out some cards and locate some books?
Perhaps you should leave locating books to the librarian.
I wonder how it worked back in medieval times. I mean, even when I was a child, libraries were already computerized. There were already computers that you could go to look up books. I mean, they were they were not quite as advanced as they are today. I mean, usually when you go to a library today, there's a web browser that you look up books in. Back then it was a text-based kind of terminal system, which I remember using in public libraries. But still, I guess in medieval times when they obviously didn't have computers, they would use some kind of filing system like this, and you would actually ask the librarian, so you couldn't look up books yourself. You would have to ask the librarian, can you help me find such and such book? I'm just guessing. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't alive in medieval times, but I'm guessing it was something like that. Can I pick up some of these books?
You're kidding, right? Not even Mary Poppins could clean this mess up.
Come on, it's not that messy. I've seen places with way more books scattered around than this. I mean, this is just a few books up here, and this is 4 books. This is like 4 books on the floor. You're telling me you can't tidy that up? Come on.
As you watch the pendulum swing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you feel a bit lightheaded. You have no desire to stop the clock. It is said that time waits for no man. The same is true for talking.
All right. Well, let's talk to the librarian. I assume the librarian has something to say.
A rather plump and stern-looking woman is seated behind the desk. Every so often, she glances away and appears to lose her train of thought. The monotony of being a librarian must be getting to her.
Oh, is that so? Well, let's see if using the hand on her will remove some of that monotony. She has very, very bright green eyes. That reminds me of the serpent in King's Quest VI, where the eyes of the serpent would always be highlighted. That, or not just the serpent. I don't mean the serpent. I mean the genie, the genie, and all the different forms that the genie would appear in. His eyes were always weirdly highlighted like that. Now I worry that in this time of greater awareness of behavior around women, I worry that people are going to accuse me of inappropriate behavior if I try to click the hand on this woman. So please forgive me for introducing stereotypically bad male behavior into this video, but I'm curious to see what this does.
Not a good idea. Doing so could result in any number of consequences, all of them bad.
Apparently the game has more sense than I have. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to her.
May I help you?
Yes, I was hoping to enrich my knowledge of this fair land by way of perusing your historical texts.
My, that was well put.
No.
Not terribly effective, though.
What? No? What do you mean, no? Really?
Pardon me, perhaps I was not clear?
You were.
Then may I?
No.
Seriously? Why do you have a library then? Excuse me, ma'am, why do you have a library with all these books in it if people are not allowed to look at the books? Are you for real? Like, is this... Are you trolling me? You mad, bro? Are you seriously...
Why can't I?
You are not a member.
Well then, can I become a member?
No.
Okay, well, we got a little more information. At least now we understand why we can't look at the books.
Why can I not become a member?
We already have far too many members. It's difficult to keep track of everything.
How many members are there?
2.
Okay, let's try to be reasonable. Maybe the lady has problems with her memory. I mean, you know, she's apparently of a certain age. You know, when things start getting to that point, you do start to have problems with memory. Maybe she can't remember more than 2 people at the same time.
If I may inquire, who are your 2 members?
You may not. Neither the Count of Colima nor the elderly gentleman who lives next door would approve of my divulging that information to you.
Ah, thank you anyway.
For a librarian, you're not very smart, ma'am. Sorry to say.
You mentioned the Count of Colima.
No, you didn't.
This library.
Yes.
Have you seen him recently?
The librarian looks at you strangely.
No.
You didn't mention that. You didn't say anything about him being a member. I certainly didn't discover this information.
Is there any way I might meet the Count?
Yes!
How?
Die.
Well, well, okay, thanks for the advice.
I would have to die to meet the Count?
Depends.
On what?
Your importance.
And if I am important?
Then you might be fortunate enough to be buried on his estate.
I don't think you can really meet a dead person. You can see their dead body, but does that really count as meeting someone? I guess it depends on semantics.
Who is buried on the Count's estate?
Counts.
Aha. Past Counts, of course. Anyone else?
Yes.
Who?
Him.
Pardon? Do you mean the Count is dead?
The librarian decides to avoid your gaze and seems disinclined to speak further with you on the subject.
Okay, I get it. So the Count is dead, and since he's dead, then if I die too, then I can meet him in wherever he is, either the good place or the bad place, or maybe the intermediate place, or maybe no place if there is in fact no afterlife. I don't know.
The librarian seems disinclined to speak further with you.
She was always kind of disinclined to speak with me right from the get-go, but okay. Let's see, there's a ladder here.
The ladder provides access, when needed, to the upper shelves.
Can I take the ladder and put it in my pocket like in Space Quest 3?
You think the librarian would not approve if you were to be using her ladder.
I didn't want to use it, I just wanted to take it with me and put it in my inventory. We are a king, so if only I had some proof. You know, like in King's Quest 6, where you use your royal insignia to prove that you're a prince, if I had some kind of royal seal or something to show that I'm a king of a foreign land, maybe I'd be important enough to meet the Count. Well, okay, the Count's dead, so I guess... can I show her my sword? This is the sword of a king.
You cannot be serious. Even if you are so inclined, there are laws against homicide in this land.
Yeah, I didn't actually mean what the game thought I meant. I actually thought, since this is the sword of a king, since it's like, you know, the sword of a king's right to bear, maybe showing her that I have the sword, that I'm carrying the sword around with me would prove that I'm a king. See, once again, failure of the parser system. The game assumes that I'm trying to kill her with the sword, but maybe I just want to show her the sword to prove a point to her. This is why I like parsers. I know people complain that I always harp about parsers, but this is exactly why parsers should exist in adventure games. Okay, sorry for ranting.
Piles upon piles.
No, I'm trying to look at this feather quill.
It is a simple quill standing in its ink pot.
Can I take the quill?
Removing the quill without any immediate purpose might cause the librarian to notice that it is missing.
I think she might notice it's missing even if there is an immediate purpose. But, okay, I get the feeling we're not going to be able to do much here. This is actually kind of disappointing. Usually I like libraries, but there's not really much going on here. Are these barrels in the corner?
You wonder what is stored in these barrels, as the librarian appears not to be a connoisseur of alcohol.
Maybe she is. How do you know?
They are a tad too heavy to move about.
Who said anything about moving them about? Maybe I just want to open them and see what's inside. Once again, failure of a point-and-click system. That's why you should have a parser. Alright, well that was kind of disappointing for a library. Usually I love libraries, but that was just a bit... I mean, even disregarding the rather negative attitude of the librarian, which, okay, I can understand. Maybe she's having a bad day, or maybe she's just not very communicative. I mean, introverted people who read a lot of books often are that way, but I mean, can't look at the books, can't...
This horse must have skipped breakfast.
Oh, I see, because he's eating the flowers in the flower planter here.
The horse doesn't belong to you, Graham. Just leave it be. You'd never speak to a horse, of course.
Yes, that joke was also made by Freddy Fargas, just like the joke about sign language. You know what I just realized? I forgot to actually try taking the books. Well, not taking them, but reading them. What about these books back here?
You would not know where to start. Perhaps the librarian could be of help here.
Well, it's not really that many books, Graham. I mean, how many books is this? This is maybe just a few hundred books. I mean, you could easily just browse them. All right, anyway, let's move on. Clearly this is not working out.
Lovely flowers bloom in pots beneath the window. These flowers aren't yours to pick. Besides, they look nice where they are.
Do I need to put some sleeping powder or potion in the flowers to make the horse fall asleep so that I can secretly carry the horse away to a place where I use the horse? I don't know. All right, let's see. What this looks like? Is this a sign? Yes, it is. Angelina's Antiques. Oh, maybe that's what the A stands for. The A probably stands for either Angelina or Antiques, or maybe both. Okay, that would make sense. Well, let's try going inside.
The door is locked. A sign next to it reads, "Open from noon till sunset." The sun's position in the sky indicates that it is currently morning. The owner must not be an early riser.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, I can't go east from here. The game won't let me because it tells me it's not interesting there. So, can I come back this way?
The town continues to the north away, but you are not interested in what lies in that direction.
Okay, so the whole town is one screen in this game. So what do we have here that will be of meaningful for puzzles in the game? Obviously, the library is probably some kind of puzzle. Obviously, this antiques shop, which we'll go into hopefully later, and then this guy here with the pumpkin, with the baby pumpkin that we obviously need. Oh, and that thing under the door that we have to somehow get. Do I have anything that can? I don't think so. I mean, if Graham's fingers don't fit under the door, then I don't think he's going to fit that sword or this fence post or fence. Not a fence post, but a.
It appears to be an ordinary fence picket. Its pointed end reminds you of a stake.
Funnily enough, I've never heard of the word picket before playing this game. I mean, I've heard of a picket fence, but I never realized that that the individual boards on such a fence are actually called pickets. Never realized that. And of course, I've heard of picketing in the sense of, like, if you're striking, then you picket outside your employer's building or something like that, but that's something completely different. Never heard of picket in the sense of a board from a fence. You learn something new every day. Apparently, even, I read the other day that even native speakers of a language generally learn about one new word a day. So, always learning, always increasing your vocabulary, and that guy's still sneezing in his hay pile there. Or maybe it's a female, but the voice sounded relatively masculine to me. Well, that was the town. That was our visit to the town. We didn't really see much. I expected that to last for longer, but we couldn't do anything in the library. We couldn't get into the antiques shop, and we couldn't walk anywhere else in the town. So that was it. That was the town of Colima. Colima, already done. Let's. Oh, what's this? Oh, this is the church. This is the church.
A beautiful stained glass window depicts a radiant full moon. It is certainly one of the more unique images you have seen on a church.
I'm really not an expert on stained glass windows, but the moon is all white. So if you're making a stained glass window of the moon, then basically you just made a whole bunch of either clear or kind of semi-transparent, white-colored, kind of white smoked glass. Not smoked, but what do you call it? Infused stain. Yeah, like white stained glass, I guess. It's not really a very colorful pattern, and you can see it's just like a white circle. It's not really very...
You would sooner discard all your earthly possessions than damage a stained glass window.
Okay, I didn't say you have to damage it. Maybe you can just run your fingers over it and feel how white it is.
A large brass bell sits atop the church. You are not Laura Bow, so you do not need a bell.
Yes, references to other Sierra games. All right.
The symbol of the common religion has been affixed to the apex of the church's roof. Your association with it forms part of your duty as a monarch.
Really? Is Daventry a theocracy? I wonder why they... I wonder why they say the common religion instead of Christianity. I mean, that's very obviously a Christian cross. So why did they not want to explicitly... I don't know.
You can see inside when you look in the window. It is hard to notice details, though.
All right, let's go inside. Let's take a look inside the church and see what we can see.
The door appears to be barred from the inside. The church must not be open at this time.
Okay, or let's not go into the church. Let's break in through the window.
You decide to leave the boards where they are.
Or are these windows boarded up?
These windows have been boarded up. You wonder if there's been some vandalism in the recent past. Surely no one would think to damage a church.
Oh, Mr. Narrator, you're so naive. Or Graham, if the voice of the narrator is actually the inner monologue of Graham.
Attempting to clean the window does not help a great deal.
Who said I wanted to clean it? I wanted to open the window to go inside the church. Again, parser. Oh, can I not? I can't go east from here. Okay, I guess this is a dead end, because I clearly can't go south from here, and I don't think... Yeah, this is not a path I can take, so... What's with this little fence here?
A decrepit old fence stands as a relic from better times, for the church, at least.
Yeah.
The monks who inhabit the church may not appreciate you removing their fence, bent and twisted though it may be.
It's kind of a nice wrought iron fence. I like fences like that. All right. Oh, and here's a big chasm, which I probably shouldn't fall into. Yeah, falling in there looks like a bad idea. Let's not do that. Oh, and here's probably the thingy, the cave. Let's save here. This was where in the original game.
You rap on the treehouse door and wait a moment, but get no response.
Can I not?
You rap on.
Can I not open the door? Really?
You rap.
Once again, parser. How do I mean, he knocks on the door. How do I say just open the door? Forget about knocking. Just you know what? Just take your sword and break it down with the sword.
Brandishing your sword might make you appear an accomplished fighter, but you will not make many friends by being careless with it. Besides, it's valuable. Take care of it.
Okay. Golly gumdrops. All I wanted was to break down somebody's door and steal everything they had. Is that so wrong?
This large fallen log is all that remains of a once grand tree.
Yes, that's what you might... okay, I'm not going to make that joke.
You peer into the log, but see nothing of interest.
What? I did all this work of looking into the log and I get nothing for it? That's an outrage. That is just unacceptable. What is this? This looks kind of like a tree root, but somehow it also looks significant.
There's a log nearby.
Okay.
You peer into the log, but see nothing of interest.
Second useless log in a row. Wow.
You have run into an evil enchanter. Get out of here fast before he turns you into something.
All right. Stupid enchanter. All right, where are we? Oh, here's another house with a picket fence. Oh, actually, this is probably the same picket fence. This is probably the same, yeah, here's where we got the picket, and here's where we actually see the house that the picket belonged to, or with the picket fence that the picket was part of.
It is a mailbox. This is the first time you have ever set eyes upon one, which isn't surprising. The postal system won't be invented for another few centuries to come. The residents of this land must either possess clairvoyance or just simply be ahead of their time.
Okay, history buffs, of which I know for a fact there are some who watch my channel. History buffs, really? Did they not have any kind of mail or postal system in medieval times? I mean, I guess they didn't have... Maybe it wasn't as developed as it is today, but was there really no way of sending letters or communications or things to... I mean, I find that hard to believe.
You open the mailbox. Inside there is, incredibly, a letter addressed to the resident. You decide to leave it in there. A card has been dropped in it also. You read it.
Have you been missing church services lately? How long a while since your last confession? There is still time yet to repent your sins before the final hour. Come to the Church of Colima to pray for your own salvation, or just make a donation. Put your faith back into the church and walk the path that has been laid down before you. Hours from dusk till dawn. Okay, I see. So the church is open after dusk, and then, so it's closed during the daytime and opens only at night. Is the resident of the church a vampire, maybe? And that's why he or she can't operate the church during daytime hours?
You replace the card and close the mailbox.
All right. Let's see. Do we want to go inside this house?
You attempt to open the door, but find it is locked. You think you can hear the sound of labored breathing inside and decide against causing any further disturbance.
Is that the sound of somebody sleeping or the sound of somebody... you know what? Now's a good time to end the video. I'll go ahead and save the game here. Breathe in. Yes, labored breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, this has been more of King's Quest II. We didn't really... I'm a little... I don't want to be too pessimistic, but I'm just a little bit disappointed. Somehow I expected more from the town and from that church that we went to and from this house and from everything. We didn't really accomplish anything at all. We just kind of walked around and looked at some stuff. Well, okay, well this has been King's Quest II. Next time around we'll look at some more stuff and do some more walking around and some more bumbling around and looking at things and finding that we can't read books because we have no parser in the game, and so the game, yeah. I'm sure that we'll have more fun with that in the next video. So thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, ta-ta for now.